Because of orders against large gatherings to slow the spread of COVID-19, the transition to online worship is an issue facing all churches in the North Country right now, especially small ones, which may have done very little online in the past. Amy Feiereisel has our next story on how a church not far from Fort Drum is changing to reach its congregants.
Tanya Roy is 43 years old and lives in Adams in Jefferson County. She's a literacy coach full-time, but she's also the secretary and events coordinator for the Adams Village Baptist Church. They'll have 60 to 80 congregants on a regular Sunday. Prior to a few weeks ago, the church had almost no online presence.
Our website was only about a year old, and we updated it once a week.
Then, in just a few days, as the COVID-19 pandemic started hitting New York hard, everything changed. Roy's church was planning to hold a dollar dinner in mid-March.
In the course of probably 6 hours, we went from asking for advice about how we could stay safe while we hosted that dinner to canceling the dinner altogether and scheduling an emergency meeting of everyone that was on a board.
They held that meeting with 30-odd people spread out around the sanctuary, all trying to keep their distance. They suspended in-church services and formed a committee to explore putting them online. The irony, says Roy, is that they'd already formed this committee 6 months prior and decided they didn't have the equipment or technical expertise.
We had also seen some studies that said that churches that offered services online had a decrease in giving. So we weren't really sure what to do with that information 6 months ago. And now here we are. It's the only way that we can connect.
So they started live streaming services on Facebook and uploading them to YouTube.
For what people see for a 20 or 30-minute live broadcast is probably a 3 or 4 hour process.
Last week, as it was the Christian Holy Week, they streamed 4 services. But a lot of their congregants are older and not necessarily tech savvy. Some don't even have email. Roy and her team ended up making instructional videos on how to access online services. They've also spent a lot of time trying to reach out to every congregant.
We emailed the letter out to everyone and realized we had people we had missed via email. So we sent hard copy mailings. We still had people that we had missed. And so throughout the course of those first 2 weeks, we're finding we have some really big holes in how we communicate with each other when we can't see each other face to face.
Roy says things are running a lot more smoothly now. They've set up a phone tree, they're sending sermon transcripts to folks without internet access, and hosting virtual Bible studies.
We really are enjoying being able to reach people at different points in time during the week. For all of the problems that we ran into at the beginning, our eyes have been open to what the possibilities could be if we continue to do this going forward.
Roy is working more than ever for the church, but she says it's giving her a sense of purpose. And she's getting better at it.
I definitely have made it over the learning curve, and I'm a little bit faster at getting things online. But we were completely unprepared for this. And so we're kind of building the ship as we're sailing.
While it's challenging, Roy says building a new ship is the only option to meet their congregation's spiritual needs while the coronavirus has disrupted their ability to physically be together. For North Country Public Radio's North Country at Work, I'm Amy Feiereisel.
Roy and other employees are still going into the church to work and record services. She says that, too, has been a unique challenge with having to maintain social distance. They're disinfecting the church every day and only meeting in the sanctuary.